Muenselling 𝗞𝗜𝗣𝗘𝗡𝗏 𝗞𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗦 Muenselling 𝗞𝗏 𝗞𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗦
Kuzu Zangpala and welcome to my show. I'm deeply honored to have my founding principal sir here, Mr. 𝗠𝗥𝗘𝗜𝗡𝗜𝗓, as my special guest today to commemorate the 50th anniversary of National Institute for the Visually Impairment back then, and now we say Muenselling Institute. And welcome to my show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Can you briefly share about the foundation of this institute?
Yes, I was asked to come here, not exactly Khaling, but I was asked to come to Bhutan to start a school for blind children by His Royal Highness 𝗘𝗜𝗡𝗜𝗡𝗏 Paro Penlop. Way back in the early 1970s. At that time, I was a teacher at a Norwegian school in South India, and we were about to pack up our suitcases. We had 2 children, and we were to go back to Norway after 4.5 years service there. Then there was a man a Norwegian staying in 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏𝗏 who had come in contact with Paro Penlop. In 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, his wife was running a blind school. So it was a question if that gentleman could start a college, build a college in Thimphu. Then that coincided with the civil war in that time, East Pakistan. He was busy with refugee work, which meant with the civil war he could not at all go because there was lots of refugees. Instead, he asked us, going back to Norway, could we instead go to Bhutan and start a school for blind children? I thought, yes, why should we not? So we came here. I had half a year's training in teaching the blind in England because I did not know Braille. I did not know how to teach the Braille, the blind. I just had my teacher's training as a basic knowledge.
Yes.
Then I had that half a year's training, which was very useful because it also touched the vocational training for the blind and learning to read and write and musical performance and so on. Then after that we came to Khaling. We saw the empty primary school building which was here because the primary school there had been a new building built up for the primary school children, and they had moved up there. So the empty school building for the primaries, that was given to us for the blind school. We immediately saw a lot had to be done in renovation and repairing of that very old building. So we had a team brought here from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 of masoners and carpenters to help us in building in a quick way. So we had to renovate the dispensary up there, which was to be our home. We had to renovate the old school building, which was both boarding for blind students, and we had to prepare for something like a classroom. this took us 1 year. After 1 year, we got our first 3 blind students coming here, and that was on the 23rd of this month, 1973 years. And from then on, we were running the school. We had a number of teachers coming in addition to us, and one of the Norwegian ladies are here to celebrate the Jubilee, and we had many others also. Now, this is somehow my story.
Okay. For how long have you been as a principal here?
I was a principal for 10 years.
I know there will be many difficulties. So can you share some experience of how you have started giving them education, and how was the challenging when you give them the education for the first time for children with a disability or visually impairment?
The thing is, the disabled children here are carrying along a superstitious belief for the reason for their handicap, because there must have been some thing with the spirits which has not given them the benefit normal children would have. So it was a kind of a punishment, or what to say. So they accepted their disability as something it should be. That was their life. Therefore, we came here to teach them something about agriculture, about history, geography, mathematics, which was nonsense to them. They had no idea what that was. So we had to teach them English first, because English was the teaching language in all schools in Bhutan. At the same time, they came right from the village without any background in learning, having learned English. To understand the meaning of English words, we at the same time had to learn 𝗙𝗏. So this was the problem. But I must admit to say that the blind students learned English quicker than we learned 𝗙𝗏. So when we met a word which was difficult to understand, I had to ask them, what do you say in your language? So they said in their language, and I had to find out, did I know that word in 𝗙𝗏, so that I could understand and explain to them. So this teaching went parallel with 2 languages, and that took time, and that was somehow difficult for both of us. That was one difficulty.
Sir, ki oma busha chok pakhen me mola.
Jang sele oma janga paigura Norway mangpura ning mangpu chuame ni sho 𝗙𝗏 shamatur yitmiwa ni sefang turlus pasha.
Thank you so much. It is a very interesting one to know that you still remember the words of 𝗙𝗏. Can you share your memories, fond memories here in Khaling?
I couldn't quite understand. Which memories you mean?
As a principal here.
It was a pioneer work. So we got teachers who had no knowledge about Braille or anything about teaching the blind. So it was quite a difficult thing to coordinate this, because the teachers we got from the government, they were accustomed to the profile or the progress of a normal school.
No.
That made it quite difficult. So we had to somehow teach by the way, on the job, how things should be done.
Yes.
And that was not so easy, because the teachers who came here, they had their own methods and their own way of doing things. and therefore they did not expect to be taught. They thought they could do things themselves because they were really teachers. So we had to negotiate and somehow explain and how is the difference between a visually impaired child and a sight and a seeing child and all that.
I must say you are very lucky. Because of your achievement, you have received an award from His Majesty. Can you express yourself for that memory?
Yeah. Well, I was living in Norway, doing my own job and things. So suddenly I had an email from Thimphu, from a person I did not know. His name was 𝗍𝗏𝗣𝗅, and he was the leader of a small group, a committee or group to prepare ceremonial occasions for the royal family. He asked me to come to Bhutan, and I was so surprised because I didn't know why should I come to Bhutan. He did not explain what I should do, but I was invited to come to Bhutan from that level in this country. So I thought, I pay that much respect to this country, so I want to go and see what is this. I landed in Thimphu. I was met at the airport in Paro, like a dignitary, like an important person, given tea, and I was not to fetch the luggage because that was the others who were doing that for us. So we got the treatment like as a VIP, very important person. Then slowly we got to understand we had come here because I should receive a medal of His Majesty for the work we had done for the visually impaired. I was so surprised because we had left Khaling and this school long ago, many years ago. So this was, I thought, was too late to come to give me a reward for that work, because in the middle and many others had been here and given the education to these people. Anyhow, I was the one to be invited, so I acted on that ground when the national day was celebrated in Ha in the west, and it was a great occasion with many people, and in the middle of the whole of that there was a number. I was not the only one to receive a medal, but I was one of them, and I climbed up a big balcony for His Royal Highness who was there, and he gave me the medal on my breast, on my cloth, and then I went down again. Later, when we were standing down on the ground, he gave me a hug, and he said, "Thank you for what you have done for us." That is the word he used directly to me for the work I had done, and I was so happy to hear that from His Royal Highness.
So please, sir, could you share a word of wisdom for our 50th anniversary? I mean, the Golden Jubilee.
Yeah. I have no particular word of wisdom for the Jubilee, but I can share the aim I had in the beginning for the school and for the teaching. When I came here and I saw the topography, that means the mountains, steep mountains, and rivers and roads up and down and all this, I knew immediately that the essence of our teaching had to be something which could be beneficial for the visually impaired in this situation, in this country. That means they had to learn the rough daily job it is to exist in this country. It is not easy. It is not easy like a flat country, flat place where you can somehow get everything easily. So I thought, here we have to do a thing from the bottom, learn how to do it, and get enough strength to reach our aim. That's why we taught our blind students not only academic subjects like mathematics and geography. We climbed the mountain with them. We dug the garden so they could harvest, so they could see the idea about harvesting. We had a weaving section here so the blind students could weave their own cloth. We had a practical way to a practical approach of the teaching, so that they could go back to their village and compare their own experience with the sighted peers from the village, so that they could stand on their own feet. And seeing what we have seen here today has given me just that impression. These people, these young people, are standing on their own feet. It made me very happy.
So towards the end, I should say, if you didn't if you didn't start this school, I wouldn't be there speaking in front of you.
No.
I would be rather in the village, begging for a food. So that's why thank you so much for opening our eyes to this beautiful world. Thank you so much for opening ears to this beautiful world. And I'm really touched meeting you in person. And then I would like to pray for your long life, good health, and may you live with a peaceful life. Because many decades you have been working hard, tirelessly for the benefit of persons living with visual impairment and all. So I would like to pray for your long life and good health.
Thank you. And we will also pray for you.
Yes.
From our place far away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we'll do.
Thank you for joining me, La.
Yes.
Okay. So that's all for today, and thank you. I'm 𝗡𝗥 𝗘𝗜𝗡𝗔𝗥 signing up for now. Thank you, La. Thank you, La.
Thank you.